So I could be completely wrong about this, right? But I think with the way the world is moving, I think that social status is what we will soon use to buy stuff. And social status mainly and only, as in currency. Because I think right now, the currency, main currency is, of course, it's paper notes and crypto, you know, and of course you can still invest in you know currencies that were more prevalent, I'd say, in older times, like gold and silver. Those currencies like that have always been prevalent throughout the history of humanity, and we're talking, you know before Christ, so considering we're 2000 years supposedly after Christ, before Christ, I don't know how many years before Christ, but possibly millions of years. So for millions of years, billions of years, or thousands of years, however you want to contextualize it, because we can't measure the specific time of how long the Earth has been around for. I don't think that's something that scientists have been able to accurately prove and identify so far. But if we go off the basis of millions of years, it's a long time for gold and silver to have been withstanding as, a relevant currency. So they deserve respect, and they'll always be in consideration, but I think now that we're more modernized, and in this current time, we use paper notes, we use crypto, Bitcoin. I think social status is something that has come, in and around the same time as, say, like a Bitcoin, right? And but it's not something you can't directly, go to a restaurant and pull up and then tell the waiter, like, yeah, so the total is £15. I'm gonna pay with my followers. I got like 300,000 followers on Instagram. You know, I'm gonna I'm gonna make payment with that. It's not really tangible at this current point. But I think when they implement systems, and when I say they, like, the economy, the people who run the economy, the government, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna start to see, like, further in the future. I don't know how long it will take, but I don't think it's so far away. Might be just be talking a case of a couple of decades, to where we're gonna see that following can literally buy you things. Just directly. You can walk into a store and make purchases off of the amount of followers you have, and also I think engagement rate within the following that you obtain will be assessed and analyzed for accuracy or activity levels, of this following that you supposedly have, right? And I think based off of, if the activity levels, if it's more active on average than not, then I think also that will be a determining factor as to whether you can make a purchase on something, and then that can be used, and advertised for you to make that business more money right down the line. And I think that's, so basically you collect the product. It's not entirely for free because you've had to build up a following, but over time, you don't even pay with currency anymore. I think we'll still be using paper notes and crypto, of course, but like, you don't actually have to pay with that. So you get to keep more of the money that you earn from having a following, them paying you, as an audience to consume your content or your products, as a form of a business, right? And you keep all your earnings, you keep even more profit, and you earn even more profit for another business by simply going in and getting what you want. It could be something so simple like a chocolate bar, or it could be something more, substantial, something, yeah, like a mortgage or something, paying for a mortgage, paying for, or getting some type of loan. Um, so I think it's so valuable nowadays to literally build up a following on as many platforms as you possibly can, and especially on the biggest ones, because it's going to make the most difference in the long run. And I think I could be completely wrong here. These are just late night assumptions and thoughts, and I think my content is great for this. I would consider this type of content. I mean, to go on a bit of a tidbit and tangent here, it's a side quest, I guess I'm talking about right now, but I think this content is great for like late night. If you're up in your bed and you just want to watch something, and you kind of want to, just listen to a video, watch a video that has like some light in it, but it's not too bright to the point where it'll, because it's very dim, the type of content that I make, and you can barely see me on camera. You probably only see some teeth and maybe some eyeballs hovering, and everything else is like too dark to really, get a good gauge of. But I think this content is super good for if you're just reflecting late night and you're just up, like maybe you just, I don't know, even if you're just like smoking, chilling, like maybe you're stoned, maybe you're a bit high, a bit buzzed, waved. It would be good to just like lay back, have your phone in your hand like that and just watching the content. If you're thinking about life, this is the type of content I like to make for people like that. I think it's good content to consume because there aren't any crazy edits. It's not really brain rot, but I guess it is kind of brain rot. I'm speaking from my brain, but it's not rot. It's actually fresh, It's the opposite of brain rot. It should be brain fresh. And it's literally straight from my head into the video. And, this is what you get in real time. Nothing more, nothing less. So but if you're watching this content through the day, I don't think it's as much of a vibe, just aesthetically with the dim lights going off in the background. And, with the way this audio sounds as well, I've noticed that when I watch my videos back in the night, it's a complete different experience to when I'm watching it in the morning, in the daytime. It's like it's too bright, and the content is too dark as a contrast to how bright it is during the day to be watching it. So it'll probably put you to sleep during the day. But if you're watching this at nighttime, it's better because that's when you want to go to sleep, right? You watch a video, couple of videos like this from my channel, and then you just doze off while you're like high or something and just, warm and tingly. Yeah, so I think this content is good for that. It's like nighttime content, pretty chill, a bit atmospheric, and aesthetic, but specifically like for the evening, I think this is good, But yeah, as I said, social status, I think that's what we use to buy stuff, because companies can market based off of, products that, influencers who are extremely influential, they can leverage their status to market for companies. So it's not even going to be a thing of like, oh, you got to pay £15 for the bill at this restaurant. It's like, no, I got, 300,000 followers. Okay, let's pull this machine out, and have it assess the levels of activity of the followers or show me your insights, whatever the case might be, right? And at that point, the waiter's there assessing it, taking the information back to the manager of the, of the restaurant or one of the managers, and they're looking at it and they're like, yeah, you know what? We'll take that as payment. That's fine. Just request for him to repost this on his, social media or we'll set up an advertising program or campaign for him to like go through, I don't know, maybe the menu and like, just pretty much promo it that way, and share this with all his following, and boom, the restaurant literally gains, it grows its community and makes more money off of that. I grow my own community by producing more and more content and giving more insights into experiences I'm having in life, and it's like a win-win. It's literally there's no party that loses. The consumers get the content creator gets the consumption rate, and the restaurant, they grow in size and popularity, and they get paid, and everyone gets what they want, right, out of what they're trying to do. So it's clever, and I think this is the way that we're going to be going. If you're famous, like, it's going to serve as a huge benefit, especially going into the future. So I'm not someone who's too big on fame, but, I have to accept the fact that, like, if I can get famous and, just be me doing it and do the things I want to do to the point where it's not like, oh, I really have to go and do this and I have to talk myself into doing it. It's like, no, I'm just picking up my camera and speaking my mind and people like it and enjoy it. Then that's cool. And it's like, but as a result of that, it's like I get all these extra things, that other people don't get to experience, you know, for the most part. And it's cool. And it's like, damn, you know, that's crazy. Life is wild, you know? But yeah, I think these are just my thoughts on like where society is heading for the future, and pretty much just a heads up on like, you know, if you're not building something on social media, if you haven't yet, start, because and I've said this before, but you know, it's becoming more prevalent, and you've got to hurry up and do it before like it's really before it's damn near impossible to do. I'll say that. So